controls like your essentially tells you where the time signature on your video and everything like that is. It matches it all up.
Oh.
Did the sound go away?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, everything sounds way better now.
Sounds good. Are you keeping the headphones on?
Oh, do you want them?
I just wanted to test everything again.
I do like the headphones. That was cool. Gives me podcast vibes.
Total podcast vibes. It doesn't. Everything sounds so different too.
I know. That's what I mean.
Like, totally
I actually get to
different,
hear what you and I sound like.
Yeah, because this is what when you put it on the computer, this is what it sounds like.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I like.
So, right. I'll have to get this recording.
Nice.
I'll have to get like a splitter, and if we both want to wear headphones, we can.
Yeah, I mean, at least to start off, I would like it,
Yeah.
the podcasters seem to be like torn on whether or not they want to wear the headphones all the time or not.
Yeah, some of them do, some of them don't.
Yeah.
So, all right. And right here. Okay, we're live. We're going.
That was the first one. So, welcome to Two Rights Make a Wrong. That
our
is
name?
Daniel. And I'm Russell, since he just kind of paused there. Not like we're going or anything. So how you doing?
I'm okay. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
That's
I'm
good.
doing good. This is technically our second attempt at doing anything.
This is pilot number 2.
Pilot 2. Yeah, we're going to have a whole airplane just full of
We're gonna
pilots.
have 21 pilots.
We're going to have...
If-
Do you know where they got the name from?
our podcast and how many pilots we did from the
Oh.
future.
Yeah.
No.
That is true. Do you actually not know?
I have no idea. I love them, but I have no idea.
Don't remember if it was a true story or not, but I know it was a book. And basically what happened was like this airline company like made warplanes, and
That's a thing.
they knew they were faulty.
Okay.
And long story short, like they're named after the 21 pilots that basically they knew were flying these fucked up planes.
And did they the 21 pilots die?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, they were gone.
All right.
At least like we should definitely fact check all of that. I know that's something along the lines of how they're named. Like I know I have some of the details wrong. Like I said, I don't even know if it's a true story or not. I do know it's a book.
Okay.
I forgot what the book's name was and everything like that.
21 pilots.
No,
Maybe?
no. The book wasn't named 21 Pilots.
Okay.
So I do have one thing I
Oh.
want to start with here.
Yes.
So we have, I don't know when anything's getting put out when, but I want to start off with, I want an apology. I have an apology to The Rock. Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I feel like, and I don't remember, we need to go over it.
You're apologizing to Dwayne The Rock Johnson for something that we're actually never going to put onto the internet for anyone to ever see.
Yeah, I think I might have called him a bad actor, and I don't exactly mean that.
Okay.
I don't exactly. He may not be a versatile actor because, like,
Well,
at the end of the day, when Dwayne The Rock Johnson sits down, he's just Dwayne, right? And he's just a normal dude. But The Rock is a persona.
Yeah.
He's not always The Rock, and The Rock is awesome, right?
yeah.
Like,
Correct.
so he is great in that regard, and he's great at being that hero, and I'm sure he could even be a villain, like Black Adam. I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
Me
how that
neither,
is.
and I want to. I've been wanting to watch it because it looks cool. And Black Adam is a bad guy,
Yeah.
or he is a bad guy.
Yeah, he's the opposite of Shazam.
Okay.
Yeah, he's Shazam's main.
Okay.
They have the same powers.
Okay.
It's just Shazam.
Okay.
Bam.
And who is stronger?
Who's stronger?
Yeah.
Well, one's a hero. So you know who wins that battle 9 times out of 10.
It's about who, but do they like use like 8 people to do it? Because now in the newest Shazam movie, whatever, that again, also never seen. So just talking about clips I've seen in trailers, there's like a whole team of Shazams.
Well, it's because like Shazam's like the Speed Force, and like it's not that person,
Okay, yeah.
right? It kind of goes into the person. It's kind of like like the Speed Force or the Phoenix
Or
Force.
Green Lanterns.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Like it's like a specific society and stuff like that. And yeah, I think originally Billy, the kid that becomes Shazam, like I don't remember how that all exactly happened either. I'm not the biggest DC guy.
Me neither. You used to like Batman a lot, didn't you?
No,
Oh, I thought you did.
not Batman. I mean, there is something to say about like the '90s, the Batman with Kevin Conroy. Like he's like almost the iconic Batman to me.
Kevin Conroy.
Yeah, that's the guy that did the voice of
Oh,
Batman.
the voice. Okay, yeah.
In the '90s for the animated series. I don't know if
Okay,
I
yeah.
actually said the animated series,
Mhm.
but yeah, for that, and then like Batman Beyond, like that was a really good
Batman
like
Beyond was
story
good.
as well. So like Batman also has a couple really good other stories. Some that like mainly focus on the Joker.
Yeah.
DC has some really like I'm a huge Watchmen fan.
Yeah. Is that DC though?
Yeah.
Did DC like bought the? It wasn't DC.
Yeah, it was always DC.
Oh, I thought
it
it
was
wasn't.
always
Okay.
DC, but how it worked was that it was always a DC comic, but it was a comic that didn't exist within the realms of DC.
So it's not in the DC universe. So like you're never gonna see Batman, Superman.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
Yeah.
So when the original story came out, Superman and Batman existed, but they were comic book characters in the Watchmen world.
Oh, okay.
But when the New 52 happened, I don't know how long ago that was, like 10, 15 years ago. And, obviously they did the Watchmen movie at that point, which allowed them to, like, push that popularity. And then they started making new comics, some stories better than others. And then they did the TV show and everything like that. And ever since then, the New 52, something happened where, like, Dr. Manhattan came to Universe 52.
Okay.
So then the Watchmen did officially become part of the DC,
Oh.
the greater DC universe. And now they're in there, here and there, and stuff like that.
Okay.
So yes, that does happen. And, and just because, something is owned by a comic company doesn't necessarily mean it can't go over to another comic company. Like currently right now, Godzilla's comic is IDW, but there is currently a Godzilla versus King Kong versus the Justice League comic line going on right now.
Okay.
And that's being published as DC.
Okay. Interesting. Because they've done like comic books where Marvel and DC have crossed over.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Are they good? Are they?
Um,
Because who writes them? Do they collaborate together or?
So yes, there was some things about like them getting collaborated. So basically, long story short, here's how it happened: is basically the being that created the universes, they're kind of like, I forgot how it worked, but basically they're always at war with each other
Okay.
to fight who's like supreme. And now it came to the point where like their fight has to be settled.
Okay.
Or something was going to happen. So each of the entities decided to take warriors from their universe and send them to the other universe.
This is
So
kinda
you
like
got
the tournament
things.
of power in Dragon Ball Z.
So you got things like the Hulk fighting Superman. That was one of the battles. Guess who won that one?
The Hulk.
Correct. Oddly enough. They sent Superboy to fight Jubilee. Guess how that went?
Jubilee won.
They went on a date.
Okay.
See what I mean? Like some of them
Yeah.
are better than others. And then there was an entire series, and then there was the Amalgam.
Cool.
The Amalgam series. So you got things like Nightclaw,
Oh, okay.
which I think was one of the coolest designs. But Nightclaw,
Persis, one of the Persis.
coolest. What did I say?
Oh, that was one of the persist designs I've ever
it
seen.
was one of the coolest designs. It was one of the coolest designs out of all of them. But basically, what happened was the universes became one, and heroes became one. Like Captain America and Superman became one hero called Super Soldier. Batman and Wolverine became one hero called Nightclaw. That's the one that's really, I thought, was really kind of cool looking. But I can tell you that people that were reading the comics like live during the time, because this happened either in the early 90s or sometime in the 80s. I forgot when it happened. The first time it happened. Nobody was a fan of the Amalgam series.
Okay.
Like, nobody enjoyed what happened there.
But now is it like a nostalgic thing that people can't get enough of and they want it again, or?
Well, and they've tried to do crossovers things a couple other times. I don't personally know how those go off the top of my head right now. This is for this type of topic is for a different podcast called Old Perspectives. Stay tuned. Yeah, I did that plug.
Does it even exist yet?
It will exist. I said stay tuned. Like,
It's not a radio.
it's kind of radio-esque. But
What are you doing over there?
I'm fucking adjusting this.
Okay, cool.
So that's how Marvel and DC crossed over.
All right,
Bada bing, bada boom.
cool.
I
I just asked if they ever did it. You could have said yes.
Yeah. Well, I had to explain it, like, because you said if it was good or bad, and then I had to explain why
What
it
do you,
was like.
what, do
not
you think we're
exactly
here
either.
to learn stuff?
Yes,
Oh, that's right. We are here to learn stuff.
to grow and to learn.
To grow and to learn.
I don't need to grow. I'm already too tall.
Yeah.
What's that?
Are you too tall? Like,
I'm 6'4".
I mean, that's not.
That's pretty fucking tall.
Are you 6'4"?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
How
Maybe
high-
6'3" on a bad day.
How high can you jump?
Like maybe 6'2".
It's so accurate. It's so true.
I'm not currently athletic.
Yeah, no. Were you ever actually athletic? I know you played sports, but
I
were you
was active.
you were active?
I
but-
don't know if I would say I was athletic. I would say I was active.
Okay.
I mean, I was like 5 years old and I ran like I was a fat smoker.
Is that when you picked up smoking?
No. No.
Okay.
It was a year later.
Sucks.
No. No. So yeah, I'm not a runner. I'm not a runner. I'm going to say that much. Like, even when I do get in shape here, like, I don't plan on it being a running type of shape.
Yeah. See, I can't run just to run though.
No.
Like if I run to the mailbox and back to like grab the mail, and I don't know why I'm running, but like for some reason I just do when I go to the mailbox, and I get back, maybe that's like 50 yards, half of a football field, and I'm just like completely out of breath. But then throw me on the ice rink playing hockey, and I can go hard the entire game without like subbing out, you know? There needs to be a purpose for me to run other than getting the mail.
Well, you can always imagine things. You can always like imagine somebody's chasing you.
Yeah. Method acting.
Well, I mean, that's like, I think there's people out there that actually do that.
Like for marathons.
No, like
Oh.
just for working out.
Oh, okay.
Like literally just like it keeps your drive to go, because otherwise, like, yeah, if you're meandering, your mind's just wandering, and then you're like, yeah, you don't really have the fucking motivation to keep running. But if you
Yeah.
just imagine that things are chasing you.
Yeah. Well, that's why I like, so we were just in Jamaica,
Right.
my girlfriend and I, right?
Yes.
And there was this like couples competition at the pool that they did, and they just pulled me and her up. We had no idea what the competition was going to be. And the first competition was all the men get into a squat position, and then their girlfriends get onto their backs. And it wasn't how many squats you could do; it was who could just stay in the squat position the longest. And we ended up winning. I won. She just stayed on my back, but I won that one. And then we did a push-up position, and they got on our backs. I won that one. And then the girls, they just had to do the squat position with no one on their back, which I was like, no, let us all get on their flipping backs. Equality here. Women are are equal to men, so let us climb on their backs. Well, Jin ended up winning. So like we did a clean sweep. We won. We won a keychain, a sandals keychain. Awesome. Big prize. But anyways, my point is
That sounds awesome.
these people that were up there, I looked at them, I'm like, I am not in better shape than the majority of these people.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not stronger or anything, but I did have a stronger will to win because like most of them were out by like a minute to 2 minutes. And you know who, me and this other guy, we lasted until about 8 minutes. It was some old farmer, like farmer looking dude.
Oh, I'm surprised that guy didn't just wipe the floor with you.
Well, his girlfriend was like probably 210 pounds. So twice as heavy as my girlfriend. But I looked up, I'm like, he's going to be the one to worry about, though. He sure enough, he was. But yeah.
I mean, yeah, it makes sense.
That's the thing, like, just will to win has a lot to do with it, too. Because, again, if we were in the gym with those guys, they'd probably be able to outlift me and everything like that. But, yeah.
Yeah, I almost find it weird that a farmer's in Jamaica.
Dude, sandals people are weird. Because we went to a sandals.
Like the sandals resort,
Yes.
as opposed to people that wear sandals.
Yes. People that go to, because there's like a whole like,
What about people that wear sandals? Are they weird?
yeah. But, especially the ones that wear sandals with socks. I'm sorry, I just don't really ever see a point, unless you're at the beach, specifically at the beach. I don't see a point of a man ever wearing a pair of sandals.
A man? Why does it gotta be a man?
Because women can do it. I just don't think there's a
Okay,
problem with
fair.
women doing it.
All right. You like to see women's feet?
Feet are gross. They're the sewer of the body. Everything goes down
No,
there.
I'm pretty sure the asshole is the sewer of the body. The colon, that's the sewer of the body.
No, I'm still saying all filth just leads down to feet. Even the butthole needs to lead down somewhere, and it leads down to the feet.
I don't know about that.
Facts.
I don't know about that.
But yeah, no, sandals people are weird, dude. And there's like a whole cult to it. Like there are people that are just absolutely in love with sandals, and it is weird. It's very weird.
I mean, that's cool, I guess. Right? No?
Sure.
I mean, people have to be into things.
Yeah. I mean, these people that are into sandals probably have nothing else going on in their lives. So they go to sandals, which it's fine. It's like it was an enjoyable time, but I don't want to. That's not the type of vacation I want to do on the regular.
Yeah. I could probably. It is fucking cold down here, but I agree.
Well, I'm rolling my sleeves up.
I'm cold, dude. Like, what is going on? This basement. Would you say your overall Jamaica trip was enjoyable?
Yeah, it was better than I was expecting it to be.
That's good.
It wasn't like the heat and the humidity wasn't miserable, which is weird to me. I honestly thought it was going to be humid as all get out because it's an island in the middle of the ocean, but it wasn't really humid at all. It never got above 85 degrees. It wasn't humid. So it was pretty tolerable for me.
That's
and like,
good.
I hate the heat and I hate the sun. But yeah, spent most of the time in the ocean, went snorkeling, chased a stingray. That was a lot of fun. Snorkeled, yeah.
I mean, I'm glad you went to Jamaica. It sounds like fun. I haven't been able to do anything like that, but I've been having the time of my life recently. Just like I've been going to so many concerts.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Second plug coming.
yeah, second plug coming. We're starting a fucking network here, people.
Yes.
But no, seriously, like, the other night, Thursday night, we went and saw a concert, and like, not local bands.
Oh, okay. But like still like local bands, but they're branching out, or
No.
was it real band like
Real
legit
bands.
Okay.
Like these people, like the headliner was Craig Owens, who is from originally from a band called Chiodos, and then he went on to create a band called Destroy Rebuild Until God Shows, or Drugs. And then he had another project called Cinematic Sunrise, and now he's just kind of doing solo stuff. But he played songs from all of his projects and stuff
Right.
like that night. And then so I've been listening to him for a really, really, really long time, because Chiodos, their first album probably came out in like what, 2006. I just said that like I was Mike Tyson. 2000.
You just said it again. Can't get it out.
I just can't. 2006, 2007-ish. That album probably came out, their first album. So I've been listening to him for a long time. But who I really like, what I was super excited to see was like the first band on the bill. Actually, they were called the Seafloor Cinema.
Oh, you just told me about them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I did.
you
'Cause
did.
they're awesome.
Yeah.
Second wave sound, second wave Swancore.
Which you just told me about too, but
Yes.
like literally
Wait,
like
I just
30
found,
seconds
I
ago.
just found out that that's what it's called as well. I didn't realize we've been dealing with Swancore for so long. There is now a second wave, which is awesome.
So Swancore is not a type of music; it is a band.
No, it is a type of music.
Oh,
It is a type of music that Will Swan from Dance Gavin Dance basically has inspired all of these bands.
okay.
And then Blue Swan Records specifically signs these bands. And now it's called Swancore.
All right.
This is not working for me. So, yeah, Swancore. It's math rocky, metal-y, pop. Yep, I don't know. That's about it.
I like math rock.
Math rock's good. So, yeah, and, you know, Seafloor Cinema. I'm an awkward person in public.
I mean,
I'm not
even not in public.
Well, I'm not able to talk like this in public. I find it really weird. But I actually kind of like, I got to say hi to the members of Seafloor Cinema. I bought a shirt, and I got them to sign a shirt.
Nice.
I randomly saw, like, even before the show started, I randomly saw the singer just walking by, and I stopped him, and I'm like, you are who I'm here to see. Like, I know Craig Owens is awesome, but, like, you're why I bought this ticket, man. Like, and he's like, really? I was like, yeah, man. Like, this is awesome that you're here right now. Like, it's so cool. And he was like, thanks, man. What's your name? And I told him.
He asked what your name
Dude,
was.
all of the members
He
asked my name.
what your name was.
Even the drummer of the band that played after him, and I don't even know, I'd call it a group, although like the group name is literally just the name of the front man, Andreas.
Okay.
But he had a band, right?
Oh,
with
and
him.
does the band switch out though? Like, is that kind of why?
I don't know if it. I don't. I unfortunately don't know enough about Andreas to know if his band switches over time.
Okay.
But his drummer was amazing, like so talented. Just just intense jazz drummer. Blown away by him. Like he was awesome. I had to tell him after the show, dude, all of the bands with the exception of Craig Owens, because he is a big star, and I just found out that he's extremely introverted, which like makes sense. Like I know a lot of like rock stars are actually they're kind of like introverted and in their own selves, and they kind of deal with their own problems like by being on stage. So it makes sense that Craig Owens didn't really hang out with everybody. He explains he only really has like a 5 to 10 minute social battery. But all of the other bands were like hanging out, and that was like super cool. I got like
Like, where were they hanging out at?
so this was at a place called the X-Ray Arcade, which
Okay.
is a world famous venue, but it is just a bar.
Okay.
It is literally a bar. It's not even big.
So they just went out to the bar and were just chilling and having drinks and stuff.
Well, there's no real it's like I've been to the X-Ray Arcade like 4 times in the last 2 months, and the other 3 times were for local shows.
Yeah.
Like it's just a bar with like an area and like a stage that's like raised like 1.5 feet off the ground. Like there's like really no real difference between that and their merch booths are just set up along the wall, so they're just like hanging out. with everybody like that. And then and I don't know how to put it, right? Like, I don't want to say like real band, signed band. What, like
Yeah, I know what you're
not
saying.
local, like
Right, I
not
know.
local that's able to go on tour.
I know what you're saying.
Because a few weeks back when we saw the Story of the Year, one of the opening band, fuck, I can't remember the name of their band right now. I wish I could because they were really good. But he was hanging out. The front man, he was just hanging out with his merch booth too. And I know they don't have like millions and millions of monthly listeners on Spotify. Is kind of what I'm trying to get at. I guess I listen to a lot of bands like that don't have a lot of monthly listeners. They have a devout following, but they don't have a lot of like individual monthly listeners. So that's cool.
Yeah.
I'll never be able to hear my music on the radio.
Well, I mean, that's not necessarily true.
Have you ever heard Dance Gavin Dance on the radio?
I've heard it on XM radio.
That doesn't count.
Does it not?
No.
But like, I mean, if Dance Gavin Dance, I mean, if Coheed and Cambria plays on the radio, why can't Dance Gavin Dance?
Because of John Mess. That is.
I don't know. Yeah.
No, I mean they're just they're not. They don't appeal to the masses.
No, they don't. But there are definitely radio channels or radio stations that play that music that don't appeal to the masses.
And they're in a weird genre. Like, you can't, like, it's really hard to label Dance Gavin Dance. It's kind of hard to label all of Swancore. That's why Swancore just kind of became Swancore.
Okay.
It's because it's really hard to label the original Swancore bands, like Wolf and Bear and Pulses. And, I mean, I think Pulses is even considered part of Wave 2 now. But, Cian Bar, bands like that. Like, it was really hard to label those bands because, like, what are they playing? Like, they're not playing pop. They're not even playing metal. They're not playing rock. Yeah, we call it, like, some of the licks are considered math rock. But then it's a dude singing really high and somebody screaming. Where are we going with this? What kind of radio station?
Music.
FM radio station are we going to put that on?
Yeah. I don't know.
So they exist on the internet, and that's honestly that's how a lot of those bands got famous, is the intranet.
Yeah. I mean, good for them though.
Yeah.
Keep going. I thought, but when you said that you're never going to be able to hear your music on the radio, I thought you meant like music that you make, and you're never going to hear yourself on the radio.
I mean, chances are I will probably never be able to hear myself on the radio. Maybe Lou Brutus one day might put me on, like a metal shop or something, but I don't know if I'll be able to ever be put on. I mean, unless somebody wanted to like do like a pop punk project, I'd be down with a pop punk project.
Right.
I was explaining this to one of my other friends.
Are we starting a pop punk band now?
We?
Yeah, me and you. Let's do it. I'll play the clarinet.
No, that's not pop punk.
No, I'll play the drums.
Okay. I was talking to my friend the other day, several years younger than me, when we were going to the Story of the Year concert. And it was really cool because Story of the Year, they played their first album, Page Avenue. They played all of the songs from it. They didn't play it like in order, like how you would listen to it if you just popped in the CD, but they played every single song from that album. And my younger friend, he was talking about how he came across listening to this, which is something like this album I came across, like I've been listening to it since the day it came out in 2003, right? It was the 20th anniversary of this album. he listened to it, discovered this band like 5 years ago. So it was a really cool conversation to have about the differences between like how he found about it and how it like hit him compared to like little emo Russ in 2003 finding this band and what it meant to me and everything like that. And he asked me a really interesting question, and he's like, he asked me if it was hard for me to find new music in this day and age, because he thinks, I guess it was my fault because of how I was like wording some things, but he thought it was hard for me to find new music because what was I going to say? Because he thinks I heard everything already. What are you doing?
It stopped recording on the video for some reason.
Okay. So we had some technical difficulties.
Yep.
I don't know what we're going to do there.
We have 2 videos.
Oh, I guess we could cut to the GoPro. Is that still recording?
Yep.
You
That
just
red
put
bl-
your
that-
crotch in that shot while I was talking.
It sure did.
Awesome. We're going to be...
You're welcome, ladies.
And men, in case you like that.
That's just, they'll probably like it more. Gay people love me.
Well, even straight men. Or not gays. There's others besides straight and gay.
There are.
I don't know them all, but there are.
There are.
So what were we talking about before you were rudely interrupted by our camera?
Yeah, you were talking about
Well, actually, I was interrupted.
your emo 2003 self discovering and your younger friend who you didn't really say who it was. So what's the made up name you're going to use for this friend? Bruno. His name's Bruno.
Bruno.
Who is Bruno?
Bruno is Andy.
And is Andy his real name?
Yeah.
Okay. It's like, no,
I
Bruno's
have-
Andy.
I
Who's
actually have no problem.
James.
I actually have no problem saying his first name.
Okay. But yeah, so he asked you a question.
Yeah, he asked me like, "What is it hard for me to find new music?"
music.
Because he thought it was more along the lines of like he thought I have heard everything already. Because like everything that we listen to, and like, which is weird because I do listen to a lot of new music. Like I'm not one of those dudes that is dwelling on the stuff that I listened to growing up. I'd like a lot of the stuff, and I will still listen to some of it sometimes, but I like my new music. And you're out of battery.
Yeah, the battery died. I can replace the batteries if you want. So if you want to keep talking, you're telling a story. I can hear you.
Oh, and we can do the GoPro.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I forget about that.
So just keep telling the story.
And I said, I do listen to a lot of new music. But the thing is like the bands you're trying to introduce me to is unfortunately is like that's new pop punk, and I'm not like I like heavy. Like I like heavy. I like metal. So like all of the new music that I can that I consume these days is basically just metal and heaviness. So like that's how I get my new stuff. And I guess I don't think he realized that because we don't talk about metal a lot. I'm fucking with you.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, and I mean, I get most of my new music from listening to you talk about new music.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
and,
you
you know,
suggest things to me. Some
well,
of it's good, some of it's
you're not a
fine.
metal guy.
No, I'm not a metal guy, but you're
not a metal guy, so
suggest stuff that's not metal to me.
yeah, well, and that's because like metal is weird these days. Like you listen to Dance Gavin Dance.
Yeah, but again, you can't even call them metal.
Not really, no.
No, but like my favorite like instrumental band, like I'm really digging instrumental stuff, no singing. That's what I'm really digging. And you introduced me to Their Dogs Were Astronauts, which is like by far my favorite instrumental band. Polyphia, which we went and saw in concert, which was a flippin' dope concert.
See, that's what I mean. I've been going to so many concerts. Like, dude, this has been the best time of my life I've probably been having in a long time.
I'm so
And
proud
I
of
think
you.
it's only gonna go like get better.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope.
I mean,
your
the
life
music scene is awesome
is nice.
right in Milwaukee right now.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's
It's
good.
really nice, just there's just been a lot of big name shows coming to town, and there's just a lot of local shows coming. There's a lot of really talented musicians out there.
Yeah, I'm really excited for you to do your second plug.
Yeah, it's I'm really excited to talk to these local bands. And you can hear those conversations on Have You Heard? Stay tuned. There it is.
Which, by the way,
Everybody's excited for it.
I came
we
up
need
with
to
that
get
name.
going. We need to
so
get
give
going.
me credit.
Yeah.
But so yeah, and I'm really excited for you because you really do like hearing new things, and I really,
Well,
I
love
can
music.
really tell. Yeah, you do love music, and
I love music
too.
even if it's not good.
And I love music too. I'm a little different. I don't like going to necessarily like local shows or music that I don't know, because to me, I want to listen. Like, I will listen to music and I'll listen to all the different parts of the music. I will sit there when I listen to new things, like on my headphones, whatever. I will listen to the whole song, but just listen to the drums, and then I'll listen to just the guitar, and then just the synth or whatever. And so I really end up needing to like appreciate what is going on, and you don't get that from a single listen through. And there's things where I will listen to it the first time and I'll just be like, that's not really my thing. But then I'll listen to it 10 more times. I'm like, this is the flipping greatest thing ever.
The problem with local shows is there's no quality there. As good as a band could be, right? Like, dude, like you mentioned, like Coheed and Cambria. Like Coheed and Cambria, dude, if they tried playing at some of the bars and stuff that the local, like these local shows go at, like they're gonna sound like garbage as well, because like we don't have like a lot of times these bars, like I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't know what they're trying to accomplish, but they have their own sound men, and it's just not ideal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, they have like people who are like, this is how something sounds the best in this bar, so we want to set up every single band the same way. But you can't set up every band the same way. You just can't do it.
No, because
And-
everybody has their own equipment and its own levels, and
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you know the show that Dad watches, Larry's Country Diner.
yeah,
We've talked about it, how whoever does the sound for that show, that's the best, like, because it's like a live recording TV
Well,
show, and that sound is
there's
amazing.
and there's there's a couple shows that you can actually see like that, like Austin City Limits, I think that's what it's called. That one that's all about concert. They just have a high end production team. Like that's what it is. I have legitimate production with a legitimate soundboard that does this for like every day and for a living, right? Like they're probably sitting in the cans, like they got their mixes. They know what it's going to sound like on the TV, but it's way harder to do that in a live
space.
scenario.
Yes.
Like, to be fair, like that band probably may not even sound like that to the people in that
Sitting
diner.
there, yeah. Which is mostly on that show. It's mostly acoustic stuff, so they probably don't even amplify anything in the diner.
With the exception of probably the dude's voice or the singer's
Yeah,
voice.
the voice, and then
They might have a
Bass-
mic.
bass
They might have
guitars.
a small mic on the acoustic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've gotten the two plugs for the future. We've got I apologize to The Rock, because I love The Rock, actually. I think that's the thing I wanted to get through about that too, is I love The Rock. Like, he's so cool.
Yeah.
I'd love to meet him.
Me too. Dwayne.
I want to jump on him
Why?
because I'm a large dude.
Okay, but I understand that. But like, why do you want to jump on him? What's the thing?
I don't know. I mean,
What's the
sexual arousal for me? I don't know. Like, I don't know what you mean by that.
Well, because like, do you want to?
I want to climb. I want to climb that big ass fucking dude.
Okay, I was just wondering if you want to see if he can just catch you or whatever. Because I was gonna be like, I caught you.
Well, like, and you were kind of prepared for it, right? But like, I want to do this when The Rock's not prepared for it. But I want, to be fair, I want to meet The Rock multiple times before I do this. I don't want to like that's
first
my
time.
my
That's your
first
first time.
encounter.
You're
I
not
just
even meeting him
jump
yet.
on The
You just
Rock.
see him and run to him and just jump on him.
Yeah, my first encounter with The Rock, and I just attack him.
If you do that, I will post 1/4 of your bail. Deal?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay.
But I would like to jump on him. I would like for him to be like aware that I like would like to like be around him, and I will kind of like sneak attack him.
You know,
because he's huge.
you know he's listening to this, and you just made him so paranoid. He's gonna be walking.
No,
around.
he doesn't have
He
to
just
be
hired
paranoid.
twice as many bodyguards to
Okay.
prevent people from jumping on him. Because now even
No.
you just made it a
Okay.
thing. Everyone listening to this, if
It's
they
The
see
Rock.
the Dwayne, they're all gonna try jumping on him now because
It's-
it's just a thing. You just started a trend,
Dude, it is The
Rock
Rock.
jumping.
It is. It is The Rock.
or it's called rock climbing. That's what it's gonna be
So
called. Rock
he's-
climbing.
So I feel like somebody like The Rock. You know, like what's that other picture? Was it Jason Momoa? There's that picture of Jason Momoa with his bodyguards. He's got like the 4 bodyguards,
No,
and they are like half his size.
no, it's not. Oh, is it Jason Momoa? I thought it was the Mountain. The Mountain had like bodyguards, and they're like half his size.
but you know
too.
why though? You know why those guys have bodyguards like that?
I mean, because women.
No.
Oh, why?
And it's the same as The Rock. And here's the thing. It's because those guys are so powerful that they would crush whoever tried to attack them. So they got to have this buffer of 4 dudes. So when you said The Rock is now hiring twice as many bodyguards, no, he's actually hiring half as many because now he's got to take care of it. Like, those dudes are half the Rock. Every bodyguard that The Rock could potentially hire will always be half the size as the Rock.
Are they that strong though?
What do you mean by are they that strong?
As far as like fighting abilities go, like,
Well, The Rock's a wrestler.
well, sorry, Dwayne, but I love you too, but he's not.
No, he's a wrestler. Like he
Okay.
was a high school wrestler.
Oh, he was a high school wrestler.
Yes,
Okay,
he's a
cool.
wrestler.
I'm not mocking that then.
No. Like The
Right.
Rock and like
But did you see him back in the day? He was not.
well
He's
that's
not
what a
he is
wrestler
now.
that's what a wrestler what a
Yeah.
wrestler is supposed to look
He
like.
kind of looked like a little like geeky when he was doing his stand-up comedy.
Mhm.
He looked like so like
Well, that was the time period.
goofy. Yeah,
That was the time period.
I want to see him like that now. Get that same haircut.
I think didn't he do a skit with that?
I have no
I
idea.
thought he did something like that
With
with
the
Kevin Hart.
turtleneck, and the
Or was
haircut.
it just Kevin Hart making fun of him for it?
Probably.
I don't remember.
I wonder if they're actually BFFs
I don't care.
because they do. Well, I just want to know, like, because they
I think so.
act like it, they seem like it.
They
you
get
see
along
it-
so great.
That's what we want to know. Like all this stuff you see, like in interviews and people do, like behind the scenes, all kind of stuff. Do these people actually like each other?
Yeah, I think some of them actually totally do, and you can really honestly tell the difference between the 2 people that are in the interview that are really good friends with each other as opposed to the people that are just tolerating each other.
Okay.
Like, to be fair, like, look at how Tom Holland sitting next to Don Cheadle,
Yeah,
or Don Cheadle sitting next to Mark Ruffalo. Like,
but they kind of like all hate each other.
Well,
they get along, but
I don't
they
know
can't
if they.
stand.
I don't know if they hate each other. Like Chris Evans and like
Oh no, I'm thinking of what Mackie, whatever.
Anthony Mackie.
Yeah, he can't stand Tom Holland.
Well, I think they're literally, honestly, I think those 2 are like the exact opposite
Yeah.
person. Like that makes sense to me. They're the exact opposite person. Like it doesn't like that. Like Tom Holland is like cute and like
Oh, you think he's cute, huh?
well, like he's got
Yes,
that charm.
I understand what you're saying.
Right,
I
he's
get it.
got a charm, and Anthony Mackie.
He has
he's
no
got,
charm
no,
whatsoever.
he's got a swagger. He's got a swagger, which is a completely different.
different.
And if you don't appreciate it, it comes off as cocky.
Yeah.
And you don't like it, right?
Yeah.
Which, on the other hand, with Tom Holland, like if you don't like that charm, it comes off as kind of like grow
Childish
up,
or-
kid.
Yeah. But one of my favorite like comebacks or whatever, it was Anthony Mackie like said something at one of the like Comic-Con like interviews, whatever, and he's just like, "Oh, I haven't seen your movie," and then Tom Holland's just like, "Oh, I haven't seen your movie. Oh, wait, there isn't one." I'm like, that was good. That was a good one.
Well, Tom Holland's British, and British just have that quick wit. The British just have that quick wit humor. They always do. You said you had a topic you wanted to bring up. I brought up my one topic today so far. that I wanted to try.
Yeah, so mine's going to be not at all about real things, but
Okay.
so I know you used to be, I don't know if you still are, anything like that, but The Matrix. You loved The Matrix.
Yeah.
Did you see the newest
yeah,
one?
Oh yeah.
And you liked it?
Yeah.
Okay. It was good. It was
Yeah.
odd to me. I
Yeah.
really didn't understand what was going on until like
The end.
30 seconds
Before the end. Yeah.
before the end.
Trinity's the one now.
Which I don't really necessarily care for movies that just don't give you information as you go through. I just
I
watched
do
another
and
movie,
don't.
but
It
yeah,
all
no.
depends. Like, okay. Anyways, continue. I want to know what your story here. What
Oh, it's
your
not a story,
question is.
but I think you used to. I've heard some theories that you had about what we actually live in. Do you think we live in a simulation? Because I remember remember when you came to my birthday party. It was a birthday dinner at Buffalo Wild Wings when I was in college.
No.
And it was the Christian group that was all there, and you started talking to the leader, Tim. And you were talking about how you could get on board with God being real, but you actually think that we're just his imagination. And it's like neurons firing and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I saw a theory about that once because, like, yeah, the whole neural pathways and everything like that. It kind of looks like
Yeah,
what the universe looks
yeah.
like.
Man, he loved you.
Like what it was, Dan. Yeah, people love me. People love me.
Anyways, he wanted to save you.
Wait, was that sarcastic?
Yeah, he talked to me a couple times about really wanting to save you.
I'm saved. I'm great. I'm not part of your cult. Like we're good. I am the saved one here, sir.
Yeah.
How long have we been going? Do you know?
45 minutes.
Okay, that's good. We can keep going a little bit.
But like, do you think that we live in a simulation? Because I know we talked about off camera. We talked about how there's like this double slit experiment that proves that we're in a simulation, so like that. Like, do you think that we are like actually like actual stuff, or do you think that we're fake? And I have one piece of evidence that I think is the best piece of evidence that says that we are in a simulation, but I just want to
see
hear
your evidence first.
I just want to hear what you say.
I want to see your evidence first.
Okay, so the number one best evidence for why we're in a simulation is, and I heard this from somewhere else. I'm not coming up with this, but cars and buses. Because you have a car that has 2 seats in it, no elbow room on this side, and I can like touch you over here. And then you have a bus that has a seat on one side that can fit 2 people comfortably, a hallway, and then a seat on the other side that fits 2 people comfortably, and they all fit on the same road, no problem. And so that's just good coding in the simulation. And so that's the best evidence for why we live in a simulation.
How big's a road?
I don't know, maybe like 11 feet wide.
A rod.
A what?
It's a rod. It's 12 feet.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, not all everywhere.
Well, right. But it's normally 12 feet. It should be 12 feet across. How big is a car?
7 feet.
I would say maybe more like 5. Like I could lay across a car and my feet would dangle.
Oh, maybe, yeah, 5 feet. Okay.
I barely could do that with a thing. On a bus.
But I think a bus is probably like
a
7 feet.
bus
deep,
is still much wider.
but not by a ton. Like take Dad's truck
Yeah.
and then a bus.
Mm-hmm.
Bus isn't that much wider.
But then again, also the seats are much smaller. My ass is the size of this seat on a bus, right? As opposed to the car, who has the seat's like this wide, right? Like it's still this wide. It's a cushion. It's a cushioned seat. Like it's just a bigger seat. So the seat's taking up much more room in a car than it would on a bus. Like if you put car seats on a bus, you wouldn't be able to get a fucking hallway in there.
And I guess also, to be fair, I haven't been on a bus since I was a child, so I don't know really how much space is inside one of those things anyways.
I mean, I don't think buses have changed.
Yeah, but I have changed.
Like a school bus? Are you talking about a school bus or a city bus?
School bus, city bus, whatever. It doesn't matter. They're all about the same size, aren't they?
No.
Oh. Do you go on city buses? I
I
don't.
haven't in a while.
Okay.
I don't live in a city, so
Yeah, I mean
there is no bus that comes here.
that's just what I heard was the best evidence, and I can get on board with that.
I don't.
But also,
That was weird. That was weird. that you want to know what the best evidence was I've heard?
what?
Grass. It's green, man. Some good color coding. That's
Huh?
what you just told me. That's what I heard.
That's not what
That's
I said.
what you just.
Well, and-
Cars and buses. They fit on a road. That's good. Good coding.
Yeah, but it's the seating inside of the bus. But seriously, if you heard
They're
that,
different sizes.
I'll repeat what I said since you heard something completely different.
They're different
So-
size vehicles.
I don't
They're
think
not
they're-
the same size vehicle.
I don't think they're that much
They
different in
are.
size. Like they're longer.
No. I mean, yes. But
Well, you heard it here first. Buses are not longer than cars.
see, now that's where you tried to tell me the simulation. Like, no, like you think a bus is longer, but it's actually not. See, that's how you try to get me involved in your simulation, but telling me that they both fit on the road. No. Nope. Nope.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. But yeah, do you think we live in a simulation though? You haven't answered.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? So what do you think we like? What do you think we live in? Like, what do you think this all is?
I mean, our atmosphere is like 10% oxygen, 30% nitrogen, 2% helium. Like, I don't know. That's what we live in.
Okay.
That's our atmosphere. Like, why? What do you mean? What do you mean?
Well, just because there's so many, like, I mean,
I feel like we need to stop having conversation about like what are we living in? Like, we live on a fucking Earth. Like,
okay.
Like, what do you mean? Like, these people that are like doing the simulation experiments, like, you're proving you're a simulation because you're using math to math. You're using math to math, and you're getting math.
Okay.
A simulate, like you're doing tests to create a simulation of the real world. So if you're using real world applications to test the simulation, you're still going to get real world answers, which is going to play into your simulation thing.
Well, no, but it's like, but if we are in a simulation, well, then what else is there? Because something had to create the simulation, right? So, like, what is there?
Well, if we don't live in a simulation, there's nothing,
Right, but if we do live in a simulation,
right?
then what else is out there? And that's kind of like the whole speculation type of thing.
Right.
Because honestly, like, yeah, I believe in God, right? And so, like, people believe that God created everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think that's way easier to believe in, that everything was the size of nothing and then exploded and it's just like keeps expanding and everything like that. Like, that to me just absolutely makes zero sense. I don't think that
Well,
in any way, shape, or form is how anything
That would be a
became
black
into
hole.
existence.
well, that's not exactly how that works.
Okay, well then you tell me how it worked.
There's more of it. There's more than what you think it is.
But then, like, but everything that exists now had to have created in some way, shape, or form before the Big Bang. But then, was there something before the Big Bang that became the Big Bang? Like, are we, like, because, like, if there's 1,000 universes or infinite universes, right?
Yeah.
And they're all expanding, do they end up running into each other? And is there, like, a
Yes,
singularity?
That's what the string theory is. So in layman's term, the best way I can explain string theory right now without chalkboards, a lot of time on my hands and stuff like that, is string theory has the 10 dimensions plus the 11th dimension of time. And if you go zoom out as far as you're going to go, you're going to go out all of those dimensions and everything, and then all of a sudden you're going to get to 3 or two three-dimensional planes, and these three-dimensional planes are like perpendicular to each other, and they're like
So
vibrating.
are you okay?
and,
Okay, I was wondering,
and-
are you having a seizure or are
no,
you shaking your hand forever?
they're vibrating. They're like, it's like taking a piece of like paper and just like waving it, right? So
Okay.
it's like these two pieces of paper and they're being waved,
Okay.
and they slowly get closer and further away from each other, and everything is condensed into one, and then eventually they fucking big bang into each other, and that's when everything is being expanded, and then eventually comes all the way back.
But how does it come back?
That's how those three-dimensional planes work. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know more about the. I mean, again, we'd have to do a lot of physics research for that. But
Yeah.
that's like, as far as I'm concerned, that is what string theory dictates. Is like, so like string theory is just gives the Big Bang, like a reason, a purpose, or like how the Big Bang.
Okay.
Because like otherwise, because that was the thing before, is the Big Bang is like that's. In the beginning there was nothing, and then all of a sudden just
There was
bam,
everything, yeah.
like, and then bam, like why bang, why bang, and why was it big, right? Like that's like that. So, and for a long time people like, I remember people like, oh, what about the Big Bang when string theory came out, and like people were like, it's either or, like, but it's not either or, like they kind of work together at this point.
Okay. Yeah, because that's actually I've been thinking about the Big Bang a lot lately too, for some random reason.
Yeah.
But I was also thinking, because like if it's a singular point, right, and everything's expanding away from that point,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a lot of space in space,
Mhm.
but I want to know, like right now, the most inner things to that point,
Mm-hmm.
and you draw like the diameter, how far apart, like how big of a void is there where the center of the Big Bang was? That's what I'm kind of curious.
Oh, I don't think there's really a void.
Well, why wouldn't there be? Or is there like or if that's where strings are, is it continuously big banging and things are just continuously coming out of there, or is stuff still coming out of where the Big Bang was?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, if I remember correctly, it's been quite a few years since I researched this, but as far as if I remember correctly, I think they theorized that the process of those three-dimensional planes coming together is supposed to last like 80 billion years, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
So, and we are estimated to be like 13.7 billion years into this. So we've got a ways to go before the universe even starts shrinking.
All right.
So it's currently still expanding. And expanding in like, there's no real center because it's expanding in all directions at all times. So, and it's happening because it's like shaped like a donut. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's that void in the middle.
Yeah,
but it's also a ring. Like things are expanding this way and this way
Yeah.
and this way.
Yeah, and but I think there's no void, is because I think I think this
But
your
you
quote
can't
unquote
travel to the
your
void.
your quote unquote center is still like it's basically, yeah, it's still wrapped around in a weird way. Like
Okay.
there's no void there.
That was another
Maybe there is. Maybe that's what
Yeah.
the pillars of creation are. Maybe
Okay.
maybe that's what that is.
Because that's another thing that I was like curious about too, is that like if everything is expanding from this one point and everything's essentially expanding outward.
I don't think it's expanding from one point, actually.
Okay,
I think it's
well-
expanding from a lot of points at once.
Okay. Because like my thought was
In my personal opinion.
okay, if it were to be expanding from one point, and like my thing is like, well, how is there a galaxy coming at our galaxy? There shouldn't be two things getting any closer to each other, because everything's accelerating at the same speed away from a point, right? If it were to be accelerate away from one point, nothing should ever get closer to each other
Well,
as far as galaxies go.
that's not true because of our shape. Because of the shape of the universe.
Because of
that's
the
not
donut.
true. Yes.
Right. So, but then that's not expanding from a singular point, right? So I'm saying if it were to, but now you're saying that it's not, so therefore that explains how things can be coming at each other.
Well, it's just because it's like like any direction you go because of that shape is basically every other direction as well. Because if you just travel in a straight line without any deviations in that shape, you will hit every single surface area of that. Like there's no way, like unless like you're directly just traveling in one crazy circle. But if you go in and slightly, like you'll just keep going, right? And so yes, galaxies will get closer to each other. You know, things will cross paths.
Right, because we're not going from a single point.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not, you know, like you'd almost have to say like the universe is flat to kind of get that out of it.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily. I wasn't thinking that it was flat. I was thinking that it was a ball. Because
Okay.
everything is going in every direction, but it's just going outward from one right point.
And were you thinking like everything that exists like if you were do we have like did you think everything was the surface of the ball?
No.
So okay.
You know, like those things.
Yeah, well, and that's what I'm saying. Is that so? You expected everything to be the surface, right?
Not
and
necessarily
then there's
surface.
nothing in in a ball, like it's just air, and you thought that was a void.
Well, I thought that, yes, inside of the ball, well, and then this was before you said that they're still expecting stuff to be coming out of that, right? But, like, if there wasn't stuff, if everything just exploded out at once, whatever that duration it took to get all of it out, which we're learning is 80 billion years, so it's not done yet.
Yeah.
But then at that point, yeah, like, it would be like however much stuff there was is out, and then once all the stuff is out, so there might have been this much space, but then everything behind this last space is then, yeah, that's a void. Like, that's what I was thinking. Is
Yeah,
that just
well,
empty space.
there is apparently a 3-dimensional wall. Oddly enough, that kind of like I said goes back and forth. Now, that's all I know about that. I do think that there is like when it comes to multiple universes, I do think it's possible that like as there's another wall, like there's the two going like that. Give me your hand. Now you've got more.
Oh.
So now
Yeah.
I think that could possibly happen.
Yeah.
Can we do that?
Yeah,
We're
this
playing patty
is
cake.
like the most human contact I've had in a while.
You.
So, but then when we say that there's infinite, like, like whenever, what's his face, Neil deGrasse Tyson, whatever, talks
Yes.
about how there's infinite universes. Okay.
Well, let's get. I want to say this about Neil deGrasse Tyson first. I love the guy. He's a very intelligent man. But what we're about to talk about and his theories are exactly that. It's his
They're theories, yeah.
That's not his particular brand of science.
Right. It's not.
He knows a lot about it, but that's not his particular
no.
field. So I just want to get that out
Right,
there.
that's fine.
So let's talk about what Neil deGrasse Tyson says.
Okay, so it just really, that's the only thing, is like if there's infinite universes.
Yeah.
I've heard him talk about how there's infinite universes
Yes.
where there's infinite versions of you, and then there's also infinite universes where you don't even exist, and all that kind of stuff, right? So there's infinite universes.
I mean,
But that's where I want to.
what does that mean even?
Well, see, right. So this is where I want to kind of talk about maybe a difference in what universes means. Because, like, what that sounds like is that there are universes that exist where, like, kind of like in Marvel where the timelines branch and there's different universes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, like, you could exist somewhere else because there's a different universe. But those universes are 100% separate.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're talking about this slapping game
Mm-hmm.
of universes being created.
Mm-hmm.
But do those universes, are they essentially, like, when we talk about the observable universe,
Mm-hmm.
is there a non-observable universe just because it isn't here yet, but technically at some point we could cross paths with it? Or is it a plane of existence that we just physically cannot go to because it is a different timeline or universe or whatever? Or is a universe just another set of explosions that are expanding outward from somewhere?
Probably all of the above in a
Okay.
weird way. Because there is like, I don't know how all of science works.
Yep.
Right? Like there's like the famous Schrodinger's cat,
Yes.
correct? Is the cat alive or dead?
Right. You don't know until you open the box. yeah.
Well, it's both
It's
until
both
you
when
open the box.
Yeah.
And that could be what like the unobservable, which is an interesting thing you brought that up because I guess I haven't really thought of it that way. and I haven't really heard of it described that way, and I haven't really heard people talk about it that way, which could be my own fault, because I don't know. But the unobservable universe, right? We don't know what it is, and it could be simultaneously there and not there, because we had a dude named Schrodinger that did this science experiment, and with a cat and some radiation and some poison, and now we have something that exists and doesn't exist at the same fucking time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that could be the unobservable universe. And to be fair, the unobservable universe could be formed into a multiversal scale simply because we think of it.
Yeah.
There is the whole aspect of no matter what you believe in the science side of things, like we came from that singular source, right? So we're all stardust, we're all connected and everything like that. So, a butterfly in Japan definitely affects things in Florida. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's very well possible.
You stupid son of a bee.
Oh, that's the GoPro. I wonder how long ago that stopped then. No, the camcorder then. Since it was the GoPro that made us.
I just looked maybe like 5 minutes ago.
Okay, so the GoPro is what made us do it. That was some good fucking shit there we were talking about.
Yeah. Keep going.
But, we could be willing it. I do think there's some weirdness that goes on. I think, I remember I was at a bar, and I'm not social in social situations, so I was staring at the lights on the dance floor, and it kind of created this theory of basically what would happen is there was these individual lights, stationary red lights on the ground, and then an explosion of red lights would come out and spread in all directions, which I felt represented the creation of the universe.
Okay.
Right? And then those lights would all basically kind of come back to that singular red point. Except not all of them. They would come out because there was a bunch of singular red points. They would come out, and then as they would come in, it was like they would cross paths with the other, what I would consider universes at this point. And now these two universes are intersected. Whose gravitational pull is going to win? So some of it gets pulled back to its original home. Some of it gets pulled back to the other one.
Yeah.
So I think when universes will expand, I think they intersect. I think that's going to be dangerous. In fact, who knows? Apparently scientists are starting to actually, they think the universe might be closer to 16 to 18 billion years old, which I know it doesn't sound like a difference between 13 to 18, but that's 5 billion years. That's a lot.
Yes.
So who knows? And again, nobody knows actually what. I'm fidgeting. Don't mind me. Nobody really knows the specifics on string theory. 80 billion could be a fucking estimate. It could only take 20 billion. And if we're 18 billion in, who knows? We could be being sucked in. We could be sucked into a different universe. Maybe that's why everything's been fucked.
Yeah. But and then another thing that I keep thinking about too is because does physics work the same in all universes?
That's up for debate.
Right? So because let's go to Doctor Strange in the multiverse verse of madness, and they have paint universe where everything's just paint. Could that are we discrediting that could actually be a universe where everything is just paint flying around?
Well, I mean, and it's not even that. There's a lot of science fiction out there, and we have to kind of, I guess I gotta point this out. It is fiction.
Or we breathe the sun,
or everything's made out of corn, which
but
I don't know why that was such a bad thing there, Rick.
Oh, Rick and Morty.
Yeah, Rick and Morty.
But because that's the thing too is we're technically, you and I are made up of the exact same thing that this house is made up of.
Yeah,
we're made up of the exact same things that the ground is made up of.
Yeah,
we are
for the
all
most part.
made up of because even elements. Yes, we have different elements in us, but those elements when you break it down to its smallest components, are the exact same things. We are
Yep.
just pieces of energy,
Hooray for carbon.
right? We're just pieces of energy. Everything is, and everything is the exact same thing, just somehow different. So why couldn't there be a universe where just everything is just
There
paint
could
flying
be.
around, right? It could
There
be.
could be. There could be. I don't know. There could not be.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who knows? Maybe we're the odd ones out, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe that's the thing. Maybe we're the only one that's. Maybe we're the only universe that's 3-dimensional. Which I don't even know if we're in the 3rd dimension.
We're fourth dimension.
No, if anything, I think it'd be the 8th.
Well, I think technically we have 4 dimensions because we have
No.
yeah.
Mm.
We're not the 3rd dimension. We are technically the 4th dimension, but yet you think we're maybe the 8th. Fine. But we're not the 3rd dimension because we have a 4th dimension that is in our world that we can observe.
No, we would exist inside of the 4th dimension.
Okay, yeah.
So we're still 3-dimensional. We're not 4th dimensional. The 4th dimension exists outside of us.
I thought like the benditure of space and time due to gravity it gives us the 4th dimension.
I mean, yeah, kinda, but not really.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think we might be in the 8th dimension, I think.
Okay.
And if we were in the 8th, see, that's the thing. If we were in the 8th dimension, we'd be able to, we would definitely be able to figure out eventually, like, crazy ass, like, slipstream travel and shit.
Okay.
Because then we could just fold the contents of the universe to our will. But if we're in the 3rd dimension, that's going to take a lot more work. Because then we're just base. We're just base model.
All right.
Because that's kind of how the dimensions work. It's kind of how the
I
dimensions
never
work.
clapped
Oh.
when I reset everything.
That's because that's apparently kind of how the dimensions work.
Okay.
They like repeat themselves twice. It's like a line, 1st dimension, and 2nd dimension, and then the 3rd dimension, and all that fucking bullshit gets wrapped together so they connect. That's the 4th dimension, and then it gets shrunk down to another single point. That's the 5th dimension, and then it gets stretched into the 6th dimension is like a fake
You know where I learned
1st
about
dimension.
all these dimensions?
What's that?
It's a cartoon.
Schoolhouse Rock.
No. Powerpuff
Junction,
Girls.
Junction.
Powerpuff Girls?
What's your?
You remember that
function?
episode?
No.
No, okay.
The Powerpuff Girls. No.
Yeah, the professor like needed to like send them through different dimensions, and like they had to go to like the 10th dimension or the 11th dimension, whatever. And they were essentially just drawings on paper, and the paper was ruffling around,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how they got to go back in time or whatever it was, because they had to go to the 11th dimension. Yeah, Powerpuff Girls.
Cool.
Probably why I failed science. I didn't fail
That
science.
you learned your science from the Powerpuff Girls?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, no, I didn't fail science though. Science
I-
and math, I was totally fine at.
I did not like science class.
Science.
I
and
did
math,
not like the content my science teachers were just teaching. It was boring to me. I don't like biology. Fuck biology.
Oh, I liked the dissecting of the frogs. I always did it with bare hands.
Nah, not as good. I didn't need to cut open an animal.
Apparently, here they did it back in the day, like when our mom
Yeah, my mom.
was in school. Apparently, they kept like the frogs alive,
Yeah, it doesn't surprise
and
me.
they put like this like twig, this little like thing in their nose, and then scrambled their brains. So when they cut them open, they could see like the heartbeat and the lungs.
Oh, so they
like
just
inflating.
performed a lobotomy.
Essentially,
Cool.
yeah. So that's apparently how they did it back in the day.
Cool.
Yeah. How do you want to wrap up?
How long have we done? What are we doing? What are we at here?
Hour 14.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I know our last episode was kind of like a weird thing, and we may not ever release it. Maybe onto like
May
if
never
we ever
release-
do like
release this one, yeah.
we may never release this one yet. Maybe on like an anniversary thing, maybe some Patreon thing. We had a lot of technical difficulties here.
Yeah, for some reason the camera just like decides after like 20 minutes that it doesn't want to record anymore.
we need some you know, we're getting more and better at more equipment and better at doing things like this. So like I said in this first episode, I said this is the cheapest we're ever going to be. It's true. We're just going to keep getting bigger and better here. You know, we need more equipment. We're going to need a studio. We're going to need a producer that we can't pay.
Facts.
So with that, I actually want to say one more thing here. Maybe go on. Sponsors. What kind of like? What do you think? What would you like as like a first sponsor for us would be? What do you think would be like a good one?
A good one?
Yeah, like who would you want? Like who would you want?
I mean, who would I want? I don't know, like
Yeah.
McLaren, something.
Okay, that's
Ford.
That's not a good first sponsor.
No, it's not a good first sponsor, but that's what I would want. I mean, a good first sponsor is going to be something that you don't want to like colostomy bag producers.
No, I think Adam and Eve.
Yeah, I was going to say it, but that's because they do everyone. I didn't want to pick.
That's why I want it.
I didn't want to pick.
I
like,
want
the,
Adam
the,
and Eve.
the main one.
I want them to hit us up.
All right.
Cause like, nothing against them, but like everybody that was there, like they were there when they started at the bottom,
Yeah.
right? Like they're the ones that support the bottom. So I want to start at the bottom and work our way up.
Adam and Eve, where you can
In
get
a
all
real,
your bottom
no,
toys.
don't even. And yep, all your bottom toys.
Anal.
I was gonna make a Drake joke, but
Aubrey.
yeah.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Drake, his real name is Aubrey Graham. Jimmy on Degrassi, Next Generation, one of my favorite shows. when
Why
I
are
was a kid.
you just like pulling out his whole ass government name on a second episode?
I mean, if I ever met
I'm
him,
apologizing to Drake for that. I'm sorry that my douchebag brother just decided to call you by your whole ass government name.
absolutely, because if I ever saw him in public, I wouldn't be like, "Oh my gosh, it's Drake." I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, it's Aubrey.
No,
I love Jimmy."
and he probably wouldn't even acknowledge you.
He
And
probably
then the
think it's like,
Illuminati would kill you. I don't know. That's just how the Illuminati works.
is it?
Yeah.
Because that's just common knowledge how the Illuminati works.
Yep.
Oh, okay, cool.
I mean,
Next
you
ti-
can
next
look up the
time.
rules.
Next time we're going to be talking about the Illuminati and how they work.
We're going to talk about it right now.
Oh, okay. You're just
I'm
gonna
just
pull it?
kidding.
Pull it up. Okay. Oh.
I'm just kidding. I want to start off with Adam and Eve. I want them to hit us up. I want them to give us some fleshlights. That's what they do.
Okay.
We push the fleshlight that you
Are
can
we
get
gonna
on.
Are we gonna review the flashlights?
I will. Are there different types of ones that I actually get? If it's like a real
I think
review,
there's different inserts.
I mean, I'm obviously not going to do it live. I will do it on my
Oh.
own time and then let you know the
Wow.
consensus.
And then we'll both do it to see if we come up with the same conclusion.
I thought you were going to say, see if we were both going to come at the same time.
That's not what I was gonna say.
All right, good.
Oh, the same. Yeah, see if we can come to the same climax.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it'll be the same climax.
So let me just throw an idea past your brain, meat. Because one of the things that we talked about is like kind of doing things
Yeah,
as a part of the podcast.
yeah,
where, like,
that's way down the road yet. I
Right.
think.
but I just want to ask you because like you have your side projects, which are probably going to be your main projects, and then like I want something too, and I was thinking it's not going to be a podcast. That's the only thing
Okay.
because it's essentially going to go golfing with people, and I want to talk to people and like kind of interview people while golfing, but I want to take people who don't golf. So like that kind of needs to be on video. Like there's no point of
So it'd
that being
be
a
like
podcast.
the first episode would just be like me and you again.
Yeah, pretty much it would be me and you. That would be the start of it. That would be a pilot, and then then I'd get other people out who maybe like other podcasters interview whoever, just people. Maybe even like if the people that you're interviewing for Have You Heard are just around, maybe I'll take them out and then just talk to them about stuff that isn't music related and just see how terrible they do at golf.
So now you're just trying to ride on my success here.
No, it's just maybe make like I mean if they're flying out, why not? they're here. But your success, your assumed success.
It's gonna be successful.
Dude,
Dude, why you gotta do that? Why you gotta do that? Come on, man. You manifest. You manifest. It's gonna be successful. We're gonna be pulling like Joe Rogan and Bad Friends
you're
fucking
not
numbers.
supposed- oh, okay, yeah,
You know?
yeah, totally.
Some fucking Two Bears numbers.
Yeah, 2.
Two Bears, One Cave.
Yeah.
You know, some Matt Rife numbers. Like, that's what we're gonna be doing here.
Yeah, okay,
We're gonna be pulling numbers like those kids.
okay.
I say that like I think only one of them is younger than me.
Yeah, one of them.
One. I think. How old's Matt Rife?
I was gonna say Joe Rogan. No.
Joe
Yeah,
Rogan.
Matt Rife. He's like 27.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's younger for sure.
Cool.
But do you think that's a bad idea? A good idea?
I mean, I don't know.
Do you think it would be entertaining to watch people just be terrible at something?
I think there's a vast majority of people that will never just want to watch golf on television.
Right, but that's not
Just watch golf.
that's not really the point.
Yeah, I know.
And we're talking, but we're going to be talking and
yeah.
okay. I don't
think-
know. Well, cool. Thanks.
I mean, I'm just gonna say that
Right.
you know, I think you should do something. And golf, honestly, I think golf would be really hard for you to do
Why?
because that's a lot of equipment that you would have to bring down 18 holes.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, there's so many.
So I like your.
there's
I
so
like,
many golf.
I like
YouTubers
the
out
fact that
there.
you're thinking of things. Like I want
Yeah.
to put that out here. I'm not trying to shit on you.
I hope you're not.
I am not physically or metaphorically. This was not a funny episode. It was just scientific,
There wasn't a lot of funniness.
which is fun, which is fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not shitting on you. I just need you to know that I feel like that's
You
a lot.
you and you hate
really
golf.
high.
Yeah.
High production value.
Yeah, I just know there's a good amount of them that are out there that, you know, get a couple GoPros on the golf carts, get a couple cameras with people following you around. That's I guess that's the thing, is that it's gonna involve a team. That's probably the biggest thing. It's not even the equipment. It's gonna be a team
Yeah.
effort, which we're far away from having a team. What? Huh?
Your fucking socks legitimately tell you what feet they belong on?
Yeah, because they're shaped differently.
You're a fucking weirdo.
No, these are performance socks, so they're shaped differently. They have a big reservoir for your big toe.
Performance socks.
Yeah.
I'm fucking out. I'm fucking out.
It would have been funnier if they were on the wrong feet.